Hey everybody. Tonight our little project is going to be doing a little bit of maintenance here on my black ghost knifefish tank, and we just got a little glimpse of him. Now he's in the back of the tank. I can see him moving around. There he is. So as you can tell, the glass is filthy. It really needs to be wiped down badly, and you can see by all the mulm that he's kicking up in the corner there. It's really time to get in and do some maintenance on this tank. I don't think I'm going to mess with the filter tonight. I just don't feel up for it, but I'm tired of looking at this tank as green as it looks. The water's clean enough and everything's fine on the inside. It's just that the glass is filthy. So I'm going to do probably about a 40% water change on this. I'm going to do a significant water change. I'll get a gravel vac in there and I'll try to remove as much of that mulm as I can. But I want to let him finish doing his thing. He's always fun to watch when he's out and about. He's not out very often. And I swear this tank's getting so overgrown, it's, you know, you almost can't hardly see him when he does come out. And he's definitely getting more nippy with the other fish in the tank. He doesn't seem to go after them like in a predatory way. It's almost like in a defensive way. That cave area is his territory, and when other fish get near it, he tends to be a little defensive of it. But this is a really nice tank to look at. I really enjoy it. I like the way it's nice and lush and finally growing in, nice and thick. But at the same time, as I said, it makes it a little difficult to see him when he does come out. And of course, with the glass being as green as it is, it's almost impossible to see in there at some points. So let me get on it. I'm going to get to wiping that glass down and doing a water change, and then we'll just come back and do a simple before and after. Alright, you can hardly tell that's the same tank. Now, as is often the case, I wound up doing a lot more than I really anticipated. In addition to the water change, I wound up wiping the glass down as I said I was going to. I got in there with the gravel vac, and the far right hand corner, especially up front, had just a ton of mulm accumulated up there. So I vacuumed a ton of that out, and I could still see a lot of it in the tank. As the water level got lower, I remembered that the java that you can see growing attached to the wood off to the right in the back of the tank, the top of that had the blue-green slime algae, which is actually cyanobacteria. It had really thick mats all over that, so I got in there and sort of piece by piece went over every little leaf and cleaned that off as best I could manually. I then sprayed it down with hydrogen peroxide while it was exposed above the water. In fact, you can see sort of where the line of bubbles is on the wood. That's about where I lowered the water to, because I sprayed the wood with a little bit of hydrogen peroxide as well. But you can see where the bubbles are still all over that, and that's just again from the hydrogen peroxide. But I've cleaned it up quite a bit. It still does have plenty on there, but again, that's just the battle I have with this tank. It's always a constant, you know, getting in there and doing maintenance and keeping on top of it. I don't mind it. It's, you know, it's just part of what's you see in an aquatic environment. I've said this before. I haven't really talked about that in a long time. I know I have a lot of viewers that, you know, weren't with me a long time ago, but I don't mind algae in the tank, and I don't mind green stuff growing on things or whatever. It looks like an underwater environment to me. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I don't sweat it, but I do keep on top of it. And the other thing I did while I was in here, two more things actually, importantly, that I did while I was in here, I removed a lot of the floating water sprite. That was really starting to clog up the surface movement and really preventing a lot of light from getting down in here. And the other thing I did was, once I refilled the tank, I left the filter off for a little while and I watched the circulation that was caused just by the Powerhead in the back. And it really was not giving me a lot of circulation at all. So when I put my hand back there to feel for it, I had it positioned underneath my space heater, or my tank heater. I don't know why I was calling them space heaters. But it really was not moving a lot of water. It was actually flowing underneath of that heater. So I moved it up above the heater, and it actually gave me a little bit more flow around the tank. Now what that may result in is I get less flow in that back corner, and I wind up having a little bit of a detritus trap back there where the mulm accumulates. But I don't know. I think maybe the fish will kick it up enough, and with the Powerhead right there, it might move it around. And the idea is it flows across the back of the tank, and then my filter pickup is over here. So this corner is kind of naturally where it's going to end up anyway, which was the intention. You know, that makes it nice and easy to get in there and vac out. I don't have to go all the way in the back or find it underneath nooks and crannies. I can just pull it all out of that corner. A little bit of it accumulates in the front of the tank at the base of these plants, and then again a little bit over here, but not a lot. Most of it accumulates in that right front corner, and I can simply vac it out. So now that I moved that Powerhead, I think I'm going to get a little better water flow in here, and we'll see how that affects the tank. So there you go. There's your after look. Again, a little more maintenance than I was expecting, but it really paid off because the tank looks just fantastic now. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So once again, a little bit of extra effort was totally worth it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. That way you won't miss anything. I did buy a Powerhead recently for another one of my tanks. I am going to be installing that in my gudgeon tank. I definitely want to get a little more circulation going on in that tank as well. So that Powerhead has arrived, and that will be my next video probably, or it'll be coming up real soon. So make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss it. So thanks for watching this one. See you real soon on the next one.